Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to take a look around the Lego factory at Legoland Dubai. And we're going to take a look at some snippets of the history of the company and how the brick is put together. So if you'll spot round on all the artwork out the outside, they have patterns of the bricks, they have posters like that one directly in front of us. There's all little bits and pieces with regards to the Lego history within this room. If you want a full history tour, head over to the Lego House playlist, which is in the Legoland Billund playlist, and it'll have a full history of the company, full history of how the brick and everything gets put together, whereas this is just their sort of take and version of. Now, this one starts off with the dates and the history of everything with regards to the company. So I just sort of pan through it quickly because there was a member of staff actually waiting for me. So that is the history of the duck and how they all started off with wood and then how it changed over to plastic and so on and so forth. They do also have this tour in Germany. Now the tour in Germany is completely different to this because you start off with a video and then the actual factory itself is completely different. But they don't have one of these in Windsor, and I'd love it if they did add one of these in Windsor, because at the end of the tour you get your own special brick which is dedicated to the different parts of the year and also where you're at as well. But it's a really nice thing to have. It was a bit of a strange tour because there was actually nobody giving the tour. You just walk around the factory and you just read the different bits and pieces. So I will do my best to be your tour guide for today. But like I said, I'm just going through the history of the company quite quickly because there was a member of staff sort of just twiddling their thumbs waiting for me to come in. But they are all super friendly. But again, with the time that I went, this was filmed in February 2022, there was just nobody here at all. So I have done these tours before, and what they usually do is that they usually group you all up. It's on a time frame and they just take you around as one group. They give you all the bricks and everything at the end, and they go through the stages of how the Lego brick is built. Whereas this one, you just wait in the queue line and you just read the history of the company. The same history is on both sides. So you have the history on this side, and then you've obviously got the history on the other side. So when you're sort of waiting in the makeshift queue line, and then you get asked to go through. Now, normally what would happen is you go up a flight of stairs, and then there'll be some more history of the company up at the top with some more Lego models and things to see like that. Whereas on this one, they actually cut all that off and they just get you to get to the bottom of the factory. So in a second or so, I'll walk past the attendant that's sort of just waiting for me to get a move on, and then we'll shift around and go. So actually, the history of this finishes in, we're up to 2016. So it finishes at 2016. So they haven't updated it since 2016. And obviously, there's a lot of things to happen since then. So you should have gone up those stairs. It loops round across the top, where you'll have some more history, which probably carries on from 2016. Then you'll come down these flight of stairs that you're about to see now. So you can get a really nice picture and overlay at the barriers at the top, and then you can pan round and you can just sort of see the whole factory. Now this has it's all in stages. So stage number one is the distributor for the granules, and you can see that they've got them all in the yellow because the yellow is actually the color of the brick that you get given at the end. So what we're going to do, we're going to follow this all round. You can see there's a little crazy paving on the floor, and you can see it's just an over exaggerated scale to what they have in Billund. So you've got to follow all the really colorful piping that's above your head. It's a really nice effect. So you can see the yellow piping dumps into the yellow, then the yellow piping carries on looping round into the big yellow box that we're going to see for this actual machine. Now this machine is slightly smaller than the one that they've got in Billund, but this is the moulding machine, and then they will mould the bricks out of the granules, and then they spit them out, then it gets put into the printing process, then it gets put into the packaging, and then it carries on looping round. So what I really like about this, obviously pause it if you need to, but it does say it works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it gives you the temperature of how 230 to 310, which melts down to the toothpaste type texture. And then there's lots to read there, so to give it a pause if you want to. I'm just being a sort of a generic tour guide. It's not going to be a super detailed tour, but yeah, with regards to how they have it in Billund, it's all much smaller than this, whereas this is all much more exaggerated, which is nice because you can get a lot of people in here. And obviously, like I said, there should be somebody giving the full tour as you go around from stage to stage to stage. Again, the layout for this is completely different to the one that they got in Germany as well, but it's really nice just to see the process that they do. So again, if you follow that yellow pipe round, you can see how it dumps into number 2, which is all the granules, and then it gets compressed, and they get the bricks then do get made, and then it gets put through the piping, and it gets spat out, and then we just follow it around. What I really like about the theming and the colour of the theming is that it obviously all links to the theming of the building that's on the outside as well. So when we get back outside, if you've not yet seen any of the other Legoland Dubai playlists, because each of the theming in each Lego park is completely different, but this one has a very heavy theming for the factory, which I really do like and appreciate. I just like how it all the theming links and comes around. So as we loop round and we come down, you can see that there's different colours there. So maybe at different times they will use different coloured bricks, or what they'll do is that's just there for props and show. I do know that they do print off different types of bricks, so certain parts of this is a working facility, and obviously other bits will just be there for props as well. This is the printer, which we'll have a better look at in a second, which we will go around to the side, because there was actually somebody stood directly behind me, because there was somebody trying to give a small tour. That I will add into the end, so you can actually hear what he has to say, and it's just him quickly going around. Amazingly, he was only in there for like a minute and a half, because the child, I think, only just wanted the free Lego brick that you get given, but you can't blame them. So as we loop round, we'll come back round to the printing process in a second, because the packaging is to the right, so I wanted to get a better look at the printing process. So we come from the granules again, all in the different colours, then I pan round to the right hand side, and then it'll be in like a little spin. That then gets sucked up, and you just got to sort of follow it with your own eyes as it comes round. Then it gets printed on, pressed, I think, on this one, rather than actually printing like a printer. But you can see the bricks will get dumped in there, they spin round, they get shot off, come round to the bit that's in the unit on where it says number 4 on the left hand side, and then we'll follow it round, and then they go up a conveyor belt into the packaging process, then that gets picked up and spun round your head. So there is quite a lot to take in. It can be very, very noisy as well. You can imagine there's a lot of people in there, so you can see that's a sort of a similar thing to what they have in the one in Billund, where it comes up and then it loops round and it comes into the next bit. The reason why I had to go back round, because this is the GoPro, so I can't actually zoom in on this one. So again, I did have the envision that I was going to come back round, do it with the other camera, so you can see how they're doing it there with the print above. Come in how they do it with the other camera, and I can mix and match both bits of footage together. Annoyingly, I never managed to get back and do it. I was always too busy doing other bits and pieces, or it's just the timing of when this part closed. It was just really a bit awkward. So I'm going to apologise in advance, because as we follow these bricks round, we will then actually end up finishing in the pick-a-brick wall, and I literally just shot past that. You see some little bits and pieces on it, so you might have to pause it, but again, I had the intention of going back in with a camera you can zoom in on, and you can just see it a little bit clearer, and it didn't work. But we are now in stage number 4, so you can see in stage number 4, with the bricks that come up, again, it all goes through those yellow chutes, comes down, spits through, again goes around the little Twizzler, and then it comes up, and now they are all printed on. So all of those bricks do have the printing on for the brick that you will take away with you, but obviously it wasn't working because there's nobody there, so they don't need to print off hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. You can imagine if the tours are absolutely full, it would be amazing to see the bricks just working around, and there'd just be a lot to see. So if you have been, let me know what you think of this tour. Let me know how it compares to other tours in different parts of the world that you've been to, and if you have been in 2022 or beyond or before, let me know how much of this factory is working in one hit. But you can see it comes up and comes over, so you can just see they've given a bit of a diagram of the actual brick coming off. So number 4 is the packaging, and then we come round and down to number 5 into a different station, and then you come round and then you pick up your brick just from here. Not too sure what that graduation station was, but I didn't want to open up the door in case it's setting off an alarm, so I would imagine you would have been shown that on the tour. So if you can fill me in the comments below, please do let me know. But I would imagine that would just be where all the bricks pile up, and then the member of staff takes them out and they put them into that blue brick. Or they've done it this way because of COVID, so you should have opened up that door to get the brick, but because they were very heavy with regards to COVID regulations. I think if you pause it there, it does actually say that's where the bricks are. They were very, very heavy with COVID regs, so I think they had just changed certain bits and pieces to make it a little bit easier. Now we are into the shop. Now this bit is where you can get everything engraved. There's a counter directly behind me, and I took the volume off completely because he was super, super chatty, which was really, really nice. But again, the members of staff just didn't have anything to do, so I think they were bored, but obviously being extremely helpful at the same time. This is not the main shop. This is just a tiny little shop that is bolted on. I'm going to apologise in advance. It's quick what you see of the pick of bricks, so do pause it. Now, what I really did like on this pick a brick is that normally you go to these bricks, you'll fill up the cups if you don't know what they are. You literally get some, it's like a pick a mix. You get some scoops, you fill it up, and then you can go back and make what you want to make. Now, if you notice, it actually says create a car, and a little bit further on, it says create something else, which I think is just like a little modular building. It's like a little habitat. Now, the artwork for this is just above. You will catch it as a glimpse, so again, you might have to pause it on there, but they give you two different building challenges, which is really, really nice. You can see on the in the middle on the left, it says what the other challenge is, and then that's where you actually get those bricks from to make that building that is directly above. So you can build a building, and then you can see the car in the top left with the flames shooting out, which again I think is really, really nice. They did do something like that in Windsor where you could actually make the dragon, but I apologize, I was supposed to go back with another camera and I just didn't. So I'm sorry, and I'm sorry. But this shop had all the little weird and wonderful things in, like buying another brick separator. I'm not too sure why you'd want to buy one of them when you get loads of them, but it's a nice option to have. Now we are going to take a quick look around the outside. So that's your pick a brick, and you can see how the theming just carries on with absolutely everything. I think it's such an amazingly themed entrance to the Legoland park. I think they've done this so well. Even if it's really, really quiet, it is what it is. If it's really, really quiet, so it doesn't matter. You've got to make the most of it. So in the comments below, let me know what you think. I want to know all your feedback and everything else. Now, I'm about to leave you with the tour guide. So guys, if you can like and subscribe and all that good stuff, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You guys take care, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Ta-da!
So this is our factory. Here we're making real Legos. In order to make Legos, we need plastic Lego you see over here. So this is the material we need to make Legos. We need 235 what we want. To have it work. Yes. So from there, let's work in here so that we can cut them. Once it's melted, we take the one and break the Legos. So, okay.